I think you come to the Belgian to win it. Wabash always fight.
Hello and welcome to the Don Morel Show, your chance to hear the thoughts and comments of the head football coach of the Little Giant program. And Coach, we get to talk this week about a good win for the Little Giants on Sunday, the rare Sunday game for Wabash football. And one correction from last week's show, we thought initially the last time we had played a game on a Sunday was 1960. After further review, we found out that we didn't play a Sunday game in 1960, so we think it's the first Sunday game that Wabash has ever played. And Wabash is now 1-0 in Sunday games with a 52-0 win at Oberlin. And I've got to ask you first, is it a difficult game to play? Because Oberlin obviously had struggles. They were turning the football over. You took advantage of those turnovers. 2 interceptions, 3 fumbles. Had a 28-0 lead very early in the first quarter on the way to the 52-0 final. You got a late interception in the first half that had the ball near the goal line, and you did a very gentlemanly thing. About several people from Oberlin mentioned it, to take a knee and not push it in to score. Is it difficult when you're in that type of game to make sure you keep everyone fresh? You got a lot of players in. You took 76 players played in the game. The only 2 that didn't play were Blake White and Colton Foff due to their season-ending injuries. Is it difficult to keep the team motivated in that game and be able to stay on point with what you want to do?
I think when you're a kid that's not getting a lot of playing time, you are motivated. So once the starters started checking out for many in the first quarter, and obviously Oberlin is struggling right now, the backup and the backups and the backups were extremely motivated to get out and play football. And in some ways, we also count it as kind of a red squad game too, when they get in there. And that's the best action for them versus a real opponent with officials. And so that was great work for our backup kids.
Well, and some of those second team players, really performed well. We mentioned 3 fumbles recovered. One was recovered by Gavin Rupert, another by Jordan Cree, and hopefully I'll get his name right, Leo Baniskevich had a 3rd fumble recovery. You had 2 interceptions from normal backup players, Cole Williams and then Will Freeman with an interception. Adam Mullett was 4 of 5 passing in the game for 17 yards. Austin Pickett at running back had 9 carries for 78 yards, scored his first career touchdown. Rowan Durbin, a little deeper down the tight end depth chart, but he got in at running back, had 10 carries for 43 yards. And then defensively, even with the number of players on defense, you were able to hold Oberlin to -9 yard rushing, 26 yards passing, and only 1 first down. So I think you're exactly right. The level never dropped. And we talked about this a little bit last week. Is it also then good to have that film on those players to be able to help them with their development and to show them what they're doing in a game situation?
Absolutely. I would be very comfortable putting Austin Pickett in the game at running back after what we saw Saturday.
Excellent. Coming off of that, you now move forward this week. We stay in the North Coast Athletic Conference. And one of the important things, not overlooking an opponent. You get the win at Oberlin. Now you come in with Hiram, another team that has struggled a little bit, particularly on offense, with scoring points. They're coming off of a loss to Kenyon, a shutout loss there. Do you again maintain that focus with, on any given Saturday, a team can come in here and cause problems and have a great game plan?
Absolutely. Hiram is talented. More on defense, I think, than on offense. They've got a lot of young guys playing on offense. But they have talented players throughout that roster. They've had a tough stretch, and they've had some tough breaks and some injuries. But they are a good football team. Last year, they almost knocked off Witt at Witt. They were leading. So no, we need to avoid that and keep doing the good things we've been doing.
You've survived a month away from Little Giant Stadium. We've talked about it earlier on this show. The strangest football schedule that we've seen in a long, long time. So it's been a month since you've played a home game. How excited are you, the coaching staff, and the players to get to play another game here at Little Giant Stadium, part of a 3-week string of home games with Hiram this week, Kenyon next week, and then capping it with the Denison game on November 2nd?
Just excited not to be getting on a bus for 7 hours is wonderful. But no, and we had a good crowd at Oberlin. It's going to be fantastic Saturday. I know the weather's going to be great. And for our campus, a home football game is a fun day that usually leads into a fun evening. And I think our students and our football players both look forward to home games at Little Giant Stadium.
That game is a 1 o'clock game, and one of the things that will go on as part of that game, there will be a group back to pay tribute to longtime and legendary equipment manager Chick Clements, who passed away earlier this summer. Chick's family will be part of the coin flip prior to the game. I know Kevin Clifford and Gary Remy are coming back to talk about Chick's influence in their lives while they were students here. Just another special tribute to a great Little Giant who meant so much to so many people.
Absolutely, and that celebration is really going to take place at 12:40 before the game in the field house. Everybody is invited. Then we're going to walk out to the field where we're going to walk by the picture that honors him in our Hall of Fame. I think it's going to be an absolutely great day.
And one of the things we want to invite you, if you are a former Wabash football player, a former Wabash athlete, a Wabash student that had interactions with Chick and have great memories, we would ask that you email your memories to Steve Hoffman at hoffmans@wabash.edu. Steve's going to read some of those tributes throughout the game, and then I know Gary Remy and Kevin Clifford are going to join Steve and Jim at halftime and just talk about Chick's legacy at Wabash, what he's meant to so many Wabash College students, not just athletes, but students in general that he interacted with, and what his impact on the Wabash community and the Crawfordsville community was for so many years that he was involved here. Talking about some X's and O's, you talked about Hiram's good defense. One of the other things, looking at them statistically, among the nation's leaders in Division III in fewest penalties in a game. So some good discipline, not making mistakes to hurt themselves. How important is it to be able to just execute what you do against them, knowing that they're not likely to make some of those mistakes and give you any free yards?
They're not. And then defensively, they play very tough, man-to-man, aggressive defense. They can bring pressure. They have hit some quarterbacks really hard this year, the Denison quarterback, the Kenyon quarterback. We just need to be ready for the pressure they bring on defense.
Talking about quarterbacks, Bran Campbell, who was 13 of 13 passing on Saturday against Oberlin for 174 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, a couple to Connor Thompson, 1 to Tim Miller. So a good performance for him. How has his growth taken place throughout this season after being inserted into the starting lineup with the injury to Blake White?
It's gone well, and if you asked him, he'd say there'd been a couple hiccups. But he understands he's going through a process right now, whether it was Chase Belton, Connor Rice, Mike Putko, Liam Thompson, they all went through it, and the game is starting to slow down for him, and he's getting the hang of it.
Once again, that game is 1 o'clock, Hiram and Wabash, right here at Little Giant Stadium. Tickets are still available. You can go to WabashTickets.com and get your tickets for Saturday's game. Speaking of tickets, I've already had a few phone calls asking about Monon Bell tickets. The Monon Bell game is sold out, so if you did not get your ticket while they were available, You'll need to watch the game on the ISC network, on the Wabash College Video Network. DePaul will also have coverage on their website, but the game is sold out at this time. But tickets Saturday still available. If you can't join us in person, you can watch that game on the Wabash College Video Network. Pre-game begins with this show, along with Jim Amadon welcoming you to the broadcast, generally at about 12:45 in the afternoon prior to the 1 o'clock kickoff. Coach, best of luck on Saturday, and I know you're excited to be back home and ready to get us a win.
Absolutely, thank you.
Our thanks to Ethan Cook, our camera operator, Adam Phipps, our producer and director. For everyone involved with the show, I'm Brent Harris. This has been the Don Morel Show, your chance to hear the thoughts and comments of the head football coach of the Little Giant program. We'll talk to you next week.
I think you come to the Belgian to win it. Wabash always fight.